Elizabeth Hurley has some words of wisdom for her son. Hurley recently stopped by People Now to share that even though she's not standing in the way of her 15-year-old son Damien's acting career, her biggest advice to him right now is to focus on getting an education first. He had a part last year in season 3 of The Royals, and then they reprieved him. They brought him back this year, and I actually had scenes with him, said Hurley, 52, adding that the experience has been just fantastic. He plays Prince Hansel von Liechtenstein, she continued. He's a real prince, but he's on a reality TV show. He's been such a supporter of the show, and indeed of me for his whole life. And to have him actually be in costume, mic'd up, doing his lines, I was proud. Even though seeing her son get his first acting gig was a heartwarming moment for her, Hurley hasn't stopped encouraging Damien to do well in school. Famed line that he does love show business, and ultimately, of course I'll encourage anything he wants to do, the star said, adding that she's also encouraging him still to study hard at school and all those things. Even if it's something he'll never need in his life, I just think it makes you a more interesting person. I always say, you don't want to be a bore at dinner. You have to know geography, you need to know history, you need to know ancient history, it's interesting, she continued. And then of course, if he wants to be, and if he were talented enough, and lucky enough to be a movie star, how nice that would be. But to me, that's the icing on the cake after you become a full-rounded person. In 2016, Hurley admitted during a visit to the Today Show that she had been pretty nervous about how Damien would do in his first role, but she said he was knockout when he was shooting. In fact, he didn't really need her help at all, although she did give him 2 small tips: learn your lines, and don't be annoying. The British actress also told People Now that, while her son was growing up, his favorite movie was actually Austin Powers, although he didn't quite understand what was going on in the film. He didn't understand a lot of the rather adult humor in it, he just saw it as girls running around in silver miniskirts and being silly and saying all those silly phrases. He loved it, she said, adding that while her son knew she was in the movie, at that age he wouldn't have known that every mummy wasn't on screen in a silver miniskirt. Asked how Damien's adjusted to growing up in the limelight, Hurley replied, he understands the advantages money can get us to the front of the line at Euro Disney, but he also knows its disadvantages, people staring and there's not always so much privacy. So it's a double-edged sword, but he's adapted really well to it, and he's supportive with everything.